Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to another episode of Music with Nick. Today, we're going to listen to some Donald Fagen, but first, we're going to address what's in the title. This is about Libby Titus, and unfortunately, about her passing on October 13th. And for those who didn't know, she was the wife of composer, songwriter Donald Fagen of Steely Dan, and we're gonna dedicate this video to her. So I've looked up an article here. This is from, I don't know, I just looked at the first thing I could find. I didn't want to go, through her entire Wikipedia because it's a very long, and we want to get to the song, but I wanted to read a little bit about her for those of you who don't know who Libby Titus was. This is from Variety, so I hope I don't get into trouble because I'm going to read this from October 14th. So this is, it says here, Libby Titus, singer who co-wrote Love Has No Pride and recorded in the 1970s before marrying Steely Dan's Donald Fagen, dies at age 77. So here's a wonderful picture of her, which I'm going to include in the video, of course. But here's some information about her before we go to Donald's song, which is also very interesting because I have some story to tell about that as well. But it says here, Libby Titus, a singer who recorded 2 albums in the late 1960s and 70s before retiring from the music scene, later becoming the wife of Steely Dan's Donald Fagen, died Sunday, age 77. It says Fagen announced her death on Steely Dan's website. Says, my beautiful wife, Libby Titus Fagen, passed on October 13th, surrounded by family, he wrote. Thanks for keeping us in your thoughts and respecting our privacy at this time. I feel really horrible because they did, I did read that they met they married in 1993. So they've been together a long time, It says here, Titus was the mother of singer-songwriter Amy Helm, whose father was Levon Helm, Titus' partner in the late 60s and 70s. Titus' most famous and often recorded song was Love Has No Pride, co-written with Eric Katz. It was lesser known for the version she released in 1977 than from the song's plentiful covers, including recordings done in quick sessions by Bonnie Raitt in 1972, Linda Ronstadt in 73, Tracy Nelson, and Rita Coolidge in 1974. So that's one of those cases, where other people make the song even bigger. The tune was also has also been covered by Rod Stewart, Billy Bragg, Rita Wilson, Jane Monheed, and many others. So that's it says here, Titus' short career as a recording artist encompasses 2 albums, both of them self-titled, the first on the independent Hot Biscuit Disc Company label in 1968, including covers of the songs like The Fool on the Hill and You Didn't Have to Be So Nice. And it did not draw much attention. The second album came out on Columbia nearly a decade later in 1977, and which was a much more high-profile affair with 4 songs co-written by Titus and an all-star list of producers that include Paul Simon, Robbie Robertson, Carly Simone, and Phil Ramone. Now, it's funny that I know all these people because of the channel. She appeared as the musical guest on Saturday Night Live on October 15th, 1977. This is literally today, during the show's 3rd season. Today's October 15th, 2024. That's crazy. As a songwriter, Titus co-wrote songs with Burt Bacharach for his Woman album in the late 70s and contributed to Carly Simone's album. The Woodstock, New York native, it says here, native's first marriage was to Barry Titus, followed by a relationship with Helm, and then her wedding to Fagen in 1993. So there we go. And she was credited for small roles in the movies Awakenings and Heartburn. Oh, Awakenings, is that with Robert De Niro? It says he's actually worked obviously with Steely Dan. Um, and let's see, there's a bunch of stuff here. But it says here that she had come back to produce Donald Fagen's album Cariad. I never know how to pronounce that. Kama Cariad, I think, which we've done on the channel. And then let's see what else. It's just like I don't want to make it too long. Titus also had a son, Ezra Titus, from a first marriage, who passed away in 2009. Wow. Let's see here. Well, that's just a little bit of information about her. I saw some stuff here. Some private things that are not so important, but I just wanted to mention her. Her life before Donald Fagen. But we are gonna use Donald Fagen as song to finish this tribute. And this is called True Companion, and this is something very funny because it's from the album Heavy Metal soundtrack. And I've seen this movie. We own this movie. I haven't showed it to Alexia, but I've seen this film maybe once or twice, but it's been a long time. But I bought this movie because it had, songs like Blue Oyster Cult and Black Sabbath, Cheap Trick. I didn't know that it had Donald Fagen on here. So it says Stevie Nicks, Journey. But yeah, I see here Donald Fagen is on the cover. So let's see if I recognize the song. But yeah, obviously, what Scott wanted to... by the way, I didn't even mention this is sponsored by Scott Anderson. Thank you so much for making this video happen. I've been talking for about 7 minutes now. But yeah, Scott Anderson sponsored this video and he wrote to me. And he didn't give me any direction, really, Okay, so this is hilarious. So I did check the email, that Scott sent me, and he sent me the same article that I just read. Honestly, I swear to God that I did not know this. That's the first article that I thought had good information. I didn't read it all because we don't have that much time. But it says, "Hi Nick, good morning. Below is an article from Variety about the passing of Donald Fagen's wife, Libby Titus. I wanted to do a song about the passing of Donald Fagen's wife, Libby Titus. And it says, I wanted to do a request to honor her memory, so I purchased a reaction with you. So pretty much, and then there's some private stuff. The song is really a great song called True Companion, which Donald Fagen wrote for the animated 1981 movie Heavy Metal, and it came out in the early 80s around the time of Gaucho. And his solo album, The Nightfly, 1981 to be exact. And then there's some other stuff for me. So, see, great minds think alike. So yeah, I totally forgotten the email. So thank you, Scott, for doing this. And it's so funny that we both picked the same article. And I read as much as I think was important. So here we go with Heavy Metal, a soundtrack, 1981. But this is called True Companion, Donald Fagen. Here we go. I can't wait to hear what this sounds like. And I love the True Companion, the name of the song, because, I hope they were amazing companions for all this time. So here we go with True Companion by Donald Fagen, with the longest intro ever for a song. But here we go. So I don't remember this from the movie. I've only seen it once or twice. Oh, it's instrumental with 2 verses. Wow. Amazing guitar. Trying to find who the guitar player is.
Crewman of the true companion, I can see your tide of action in this everlasting twilight. Home is just a sad abstraction, just beyond the troubled skyways. Young men dream of fire and starshine. I've been dreaming of my own green world, far across the reach of
Wow. Why is this not on a Steely Dan album? But I'm reading about it, and they explain why. It was like an excuse to get back into the studio. What an amazing guitar solo, like that acoustic work, the electric work. Just I think it says here there's an entire article, a story of a song, Donald Fagen's True Companion. And it says Steely Dan's breakup was officially announced on 17th of June 81 when Donald Fagen and it says in an interview, Fagen didn't rule out the possibility that they would one day reunite with her. Thankfully happened. But Walter Becker, but neglected to mention that he had already returned to the studio as a solo artist. So basically, it says here now this was used in heavy metal, was written for a movie with Michael J. Fox, and it says here this was an excuse to get back into the studio. So, wow, True Companion from the album Heavy Metal. Yeah, this is like I'm looking at the old vinyl here. Oh, this was Steve Kahn. Oh my god! And I wrote to Steve Kahn just a couple of days ago on my birthday because I have him as a friend on Alan Holdsworth fan club, and I was like, hey, would you like to do an interview? But he hasn't read my text. So he was the guy who played the solo. Wow, if I tell Alexia, I'm gonna show her the song, of course. Wow, great stuff. Well, this was, I think, a great discovery for a tune that obviously sounds very Steely Dan, but it was also a nice tribute for, Donald's wife, who we just lost, unfortunately, and it's Libby Titus. What a crazy coincidence that I was reading the article. Also here it says that unfortunately they totally wasted this tune in the movie. Yeah, I didn't recognize it. He says, I just watched the part that they used this tune and they totally wasted in that movie. Unfortunately, that's what happens with movies when they, choose songs. They just don't get the... sometimes the directors use the music. Sometimes they don't use it the right way. But yeah, this was amazing. Thank you so much, Scott, for this wonderful song. And I think this was a nice tribute, to remember Libby Titus, talking about her, thinking about her, and then also, of course, using Donald Fagen's music. Of course, they were, together for a long period of time, and I'm sure they loved each other dearly. And so I hope this was a nice video. I hope if you have never heard the song before, if you didn't know about Libby, all this stuff, put it in the comments section. Let me know. But yeah, this was a great idea. Thank you so much, Scott. I appreciate it. And thank you. I'll see you all in the next one.